All right, welcome back to the best T-shirt I ever printed, and I have the pleasure of introducing Joel Hebert with Unitee in Lafayette, Louisiana, and he's going to talk about his favorite T-shirt that he's printed. So how are you today, Joel?
I'm great, Marshall. How are you?
Doing awesome. So tell us all about this shirt. I want to hear the whole story. What you got for us?
Okay, so the best shirt I ever printed, go back a couple of years ago, and we've been printing for 3 or 4 years. We were doing our own little clothing line, but I was going to CrossFit events every weekend and selling our little clothing line. And I kind of had a system built out. I bought a little press from Ryanette. Watched a video or 10, with Ryan and Catsfit, just like everybody else does, and was printing some very simple stuff. So like, I would buy curable reducer, and then I would distress the graphic, and I would print a dark ink on a light shirt. And I did that so I could train people to print the shirts while I was at my other job. And I did that for years and years and years. But where we were getting all our sales was when we would go to these live events. I would load up a U-Haul full of like $30,000 worth of inventory and drag it around, all out of my apartment. And at one point I decided, I was like, well, you know what? I think I need an embroidery machine. I think an embroidery machine is going to really help us. And I didn't know anything about embroidery. And I bought the embroidery machine, and I went real upside down on it real fast. So I had to figure out a way to keep the engine going and pay for that, and pay for the business and stuff. So I was like, this whole time, all kinds of people were always asking me, CrossFit gym coaches, people that I worked out with, all that stuff. They're always like, hey man, can you print my shirts? And I'm like, no, we do our own little line. And I had my reasons for it at the time. But finally I took a gym owner up on his offer to, hey, can you print our shirts? Now keep in mind, I had a tabletop press at the time. And this thing only had like one pallet. So doing a dark, anything with an underbase or anything, that we do every day as custom screen printers was not an easy thing, because once again, I had everything very systemized to where a high school kid could come in and print simple stuff. But I took a stab at this job for this guy, and I designed the artwork, and the artwork came out great. He loved it. And I got to printing. And problem was I'd never printed something with an underbase before, as simple as that sounds. And I didn't necessarily have the equipment to do it well. So I printed the shirts for him, and I called him, and I was like, hey, look, I got a problem. I'm kind of worried that it didn't exactly come out like the mock-up. He's like, okay, no worries. We can wait. We're not in a rush for them. So I went back to the drawing board. I printed them again. Well, guess what?
What?
I messed up again. I ended up printing the job 3 separate times.
Oh my gosh.
Before we finally got something to send to them. And I have them with me today, and you're going to see that it's not technically the best print you're ever going to see. It's probably, along kind of the opposite of that. So here it is. So technically we have a lot of things going on that could be done better, right? It's a little off registration. I didn't even have micro registers on the press I was using. But the reason why this is my favorite print ever is because it got us into the industry and got us into doing something probably more important for others. And it got me hooked on screen printing more than just printing a dark ink on a light color garment. So after this print, I was so mad about the results. Oh, and the client loved it, by the way. They thought this looked great. And I told him a couple of years later what had happened. But anyway, I was dead set on improving. So I went to a screen printing class in Shreveport, a Ryonet screen printing class, and they kind of taught me a little about what I needed to do. And, it just evolved to a couple of years later till we have this automatic shop you see behind us and stuff. And it would have never happened had we not taken on the challenge of this job and gotten out of our comfort zone and, done something, I guess, a little more selfless, if you will. Because I think, a clothing line is very much it's an artistic expression. And, you can do some great things with the clothing line, but you can really do some even better things when you're helping other people succeed. And I'm very passionate personally, as is my beautiful, wonderful fiance and our workers as well, about health and wellness and fitness. So being able to do CrossFit gym stuff, yoga studios, group fitness, any kind of community-based fitness is just, I pinch myself every day that I get to do that every day.
What a fantastic story. And what I really love about this is that growth comes from where we're uncomfortable. And I know this in my own life and my own career. Whenever I didn't really know something and I had to really extend myself and be willing to face the fear, and it's okay if I make a mistake, but by God, I'm going to learn how to do it. That's where it always pays off. And I love the story from you, Joel, and thank you so much for sharing that. For somebody out there watching and who maybe isn't the best printer, I think this is really going to resonate with them. Don't you think?
Absolutely. And keep in mind that I know this is going to sound cliche, but screen printing is very much it's a craft, it's an art, and it's a science. And there's just a lot of things you've got to learn to do it, at a professional level. So, don't get discouraged. Do the best you can with the equipment you have. The best thing you can invest in is invest in yourself and invest in learning and invest in relationships with people that are going to help you get better at it and really take it to the next level.
Right. So where did you get all your industry education from? Did you go to trade shows? What did you do?
So it's been a combination of several different things. Like I said, I started with kind of an introductory class from Ryonet, and then that involved into a lot of private coaching. And the reason why private coaching is so great is no matter how technically inclined you are, artistically inclined you are, or maybe you're just a great natural entrepreneur, whatever your skill set is, you still need a level of accountability to push you to a higher level. And, I personally needed a lot of technical training, but I needed some of the business side of things as well. So the combination of all that really helped. The other thing is too, industry events are great. We've been going to those for a few years now, and those are really going to open up a lot of doors. The other thing too is, have a great relationship with your manufacturers. So anybody that makes your ink, anybody that makes your presses, whoever they are, it's very important that you have a one-to-one relationship with the people that are experts in those products, because you're an entrepreneur. You don't have time to know every little thing there is to know about that water-based ink that you just got in yesterday that your team needs to try out. But you can lean on these industry experts, and they want you to succeed. If they succeed, you succeed. So it's a win-win situation.
That's awesome. Hey, thank you. So are you still printing for the same client right now?
Yes, absolutely. We actually are. We have been, they're our oldest client. I think we've been printing for them for like 6 years now. But we print for them 4 or 5 times a year. We run web stores with them.
So what do you love about them, Joel?
What I love about this particular client, like a lot of our other CrossFit gyms, is, here's a guy and his wife who he was I think a CPA by trade, and he walked away from that because he had a passion for fitness and nutrition and, helping people achieve their fitness goals and reaching their best. And he walked away from a really good job to do that. And, we feel like, we're involved in their success as well. So it's just an awesome thing.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much, Joel. I love hearing that story, and I appreciate you sharing. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Marshall. Appreciate it.
All right, great. Hey, if you're watching this video, don't forget to like, comment, or best of all, subscribe to this channel so you can see more videos just like this one. Hey, thanks. Talk to you soon.